Hey guys, how's it going? This is Khan and welcome to episode 116 of Good or Garbage, the number one place where you can find out what stuff is being sold in a division on a weekly basis. And this week, I'm telling y'all right now, we got God Rose with an S. Yes, with an S. And we've also got some damage to elite moddage. It's a good week. If you're missing out on some stuff, man, it's a good week to come look around. Don't forget to check the heads up section down below for some information on stuff that may not have made it into the video, but may be worth your time depending on, what you're looking for. Certain people are out for certain things. I don't know what everybody wants. All I can do is try to report to you guys what is being sold. So hopefully you find something that can help out your build for this week. And yeah. Let's get into it. God Rose, go get him. Let's go. All right, now let's move on to the attachments for this week. This week over at the last call, we have the high velocity magazine being sold with 7.5% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 5.1% rate of fire. Now, this is actually awesome if you are running a Lone Star build. Lone Star, you don't need to reload, so reload speeds are not anything you will need to worry about. This will be great for an LMG. And yeah, 7.5% critical hit chance is great. You also get some crit damage, and then you also get that really nice rate of fire boost. So if you're looking for something like this to work on your build, if you're using an LMG or using something like Lone Star, definitely go and check this out. This could be a game changer for you. So head on over to the last call. This week at Camp Clinton, we have the CQBSS 8x scope for sale. This thing is going to come with 13% stability, 2.5% critical hit chance, and 5.5% headshot damage. Now this is definitely a placeholder type attachment, just because stability goes up higher than this, crit chance goes up higher than this, and headshot damage goes up higher than this. But if you are looking for a scope with the 8x and you'd like to have some extra stability on your weapon, then you can go ahead over to Camp Clinton and check this out. Be warned though that this will cost you 200 Phoenix credits. Not really what I would like to spend on a placeholder item, but if you are desperate and looking for something like this, then you can go over there and check it out. This week over in DZ9, we have the Ti-Rant Suppressor. This one coming in with 6.5% critical hit chance, 6% headshot damage, 4% critical hit damage, and also 42% reduced threat. Now, the star of the show for DZ9 this week is definitely going to be the Small Grip Red. This one coming in with a whopping 19% critical hit damage, 2.5% stability, and a nice 5% reload speed. So if you have been looking for some kind of grip, a small grip with some crit hit damage on it, and you are looking for some reload speed, this is probably going to be one of the better ones. This is actually quite rare to see that high of a crit hit damage and reload speed. So if you are looking for something like this, or you've been waiting for something like this, definitely head on up to DZ9, go check it out, go cop a few. Let your boy know in the comment section below, what did you pick up this week? All right, guys, this week over at East 61st Street, it looks like we got a gun roll. We've got the extended magazine being sold with 121% magazine size, 4% critical hit damage, 5.5% rate of fire increase. It's pretty damn good. I'm gonna call it God roll. If you ain't got one of these and you're looking for that rate of fire, you're trying to do that PvP, you might want to go check this out. This could be very damaging to somebody's face. Having all of those extra bullets from the magazine size plus having that bump to rate of fire means you're going to be able to hose them down. If you have not gotten one of these, you should definitely go and check it out. It will cost you Dark Zone credits, so just keep that in mind. And while we're here, not as amazing, there is a Reflex sight being sold with 7% critical hit chance, 4% critical hit damage, and 2% accuracy. Not as amazing as that magazine, but it's still, kind of worth looking at if you want to get some extra crit chance on your scope, and then maybe a little bit of extra damage, critical hit damage, but the accuracy, not a huge fan of. But yo, East 61st Street is popping. Now let's go take a look at this week's gear mods. At Camp Clinton this week, we have an electronics mod being sold with 264 electronics, also coming in with 2.5% exotic damage resilience. Now, the exotic damage resilience can get a little bit higher than this, but this is what we've got for this week. So if you are looking for something like this on an electronics mod, you can go over to Camp Clinton and check it out. The electronics roll on it isn't bad. 264 is definitely nothing to laugh at. It could be better, but you know, so could the exotic damage resilience. So again, this is something that you can use as a placeholder, but mods I kind of consider decent mods with decent rolls and slightly off things in the major attributes, not as bad as attachments that really just underperform. But you know, you can go ahead and take a look at this over at Camp Clinton and let me know, do you decide to pick this up, or is this just a piece of garbage? At West 53rd Street, we have an electronics mod with 260 electronics, also coming in with 1% critical hit chance. If you're looking for a way to stack crit chance, because that is a very hard to find attribute, look at the mods. There are some good mods out there. This one is okay. You can get more out of your electronics, but still it's not too bad. 1% critical hit chance. If you stack this in all of the slots, will give you an extra 5% crit hit chance, which is not bad. So if you are looking for something like this, head on over to West 53rd Street and check it out. Buddy, East 31st Street. So excited I hit the controller and moved the damn thing. We got a stamina mod being sold this week with 267 stam. God roll. 1% crit hit chance. God roll. If you are looking for this to go with your Predator, with your Striker, if you've been dying to have something like this, boy, you are in luck. You got the God roll. Go over and get it. East 31st Street. I'm not going to say it no more. God, bro. Go get it. This week over at the Ward, we have a prototype firearms mod, purple, 195 firearms. And you know, if I'm talking about a purple mod, it's got to have that damage to elite. 3% damage to elites. Purple mod this week. And I haven't seen a 4% damage to elites mod in a hot minute. I don't know where they're hiding these things, but they are definitely being very, very grinchy and stingy and not putting these out. But 3% is all we get. If you've never used a damage to elites mod, or if you've been curious about it, or you've heard about it but never really had the chance, go ahead and cop a couple of these, try them out in some PvE content, see how it works for you, especially if you're running with an assault rifle, or even with even with one of those SMGs, having that extra damage to elites plus having crit chance or having that enemy armor damage is really nice. Damage to elites is kind of slept on in a lot of places, but if you are doing it for PvE, damage to elites, it is really good. Just remember that it will only work for yellow bars. So if you are fighting purples or reds and stuff, it won't really matter. But you know, getting through yellow bar enemies, really, really good. Go check it out if you haven't already. Now let's take a look at the 280 to 283 gear score items. In Camp Clinton this week, we have a gear score 282 first wave X45 sidearm. This one coming in with Dominant. Now, if you don't know about Dominant, every kill performed while your signature skill is active reduces the cooldowns of other skills by 10%. Now, this is definitely not one of my top favorite talents. I personally do not like this talent at all, but 282 is still not too bad if you want to have a decent gear score. If you're looking at your gear score and you care about it, having a high gear score sidearm makes just as much difference as it does with a primary. So if you're running around with a low gear score sidearm, your overall score when you join with randoms and stuff will reflect that. So if you are looking for something like this, you can definitely go ahead and check this out. And you remember, there's only really one talent that you can change on these sidearms. sidearm. So if you don't like Dominant, remember you can always put something else on it if you want to re-roll it. And the good thing about this weapon, particularly this sidearm, is that the RPM is at 625, which is very manageable, and it also comes with 15 rounds in the mag. If you hit it with an extended clip, you get a whole lot more than that, over 30. So it's not bad, especially if you decide to put some kind of utilitarian talent on this. It could work out really well. I personally like the first wave X45s, and I like to have maybe something with bleed on it or fire or whatever, and they really work out well. So if you're looking for this, go ahead to Camp Clinton, check it out. This week at the special equipment vendor, we have a Gear Score 281 Centurion for sale. Now this thing is coming in with a very nice talent, Predatory. Now Predatory, if you don't know, grants you 35% health over 20 seconds from killing a target. And with this being on your sidearm, this isn't really that bad. Utilitarian use is always very good in my opinion. And if you have run out of bullets with your main weapon, then switching to your sidearm just to kind of finish them off might be something to get you some kills, you know, with the pistol, because I know people are still trying to get those badges and patches and stuff. But also this will also help you to stay alive longer, and proccing that and then switching back to your weapon is still viable. So this is not a bad thing to have on your sidearm. Couple this with a really good liberator and you're kind of good to go. So if you've been looking for a sidearm with Predatory, give the Centurion a try. It's not a bad weapon. I actually like this weapon. So yeah, go ahead, check it out. It's at the base of operations and it will cost you Phoenix credits. This week over at the Crypt, we have a Gear Score 280 sidearm yet again. This seems like it's sidearm week. We've got the custom PF45. This one coming in with Toxic. Now Toxic is not really one of those talents that gets a lot of love, but headshots with this weapon will give you a 15% chance to apply the blind status effect. Not as useful as some of the other ones that will stop people from shooting, like being set on fire, or bleed, which will stop people from being able to move and all of that. But Toxic, I guess for PvE, maybe, but honestly, I would probably pass on this. But it is 280, so I figured I would throw it out there with the rest of these sidearms. Yay! East 53rd Street this week has a Navy MP5N, gear score of 283, coming in with 22.5% critical hit chance. The talents on this bad boy are competent, vicious, and capable. But we can deal with capable. Capable, we can roll off and put something better on there. More than likely, you're going to go with deadly. And then having deadly, vicious, and competent, as long as you have the electronics for competent, aren't bad. This is actually not bad. If you don't have a house by now, I'm sorry. It's not my fault, but I'm sorry. But the Navy MP5 is a very good runner-up. So it's not a house, but it's still not a house. But anyway, the Navy MP5N is still a very good weapon if you don't have a house. And with these talents, competent, vicious, and capable, and then we are more likely going to roll capable off of this. This could be pretty nice, and with a gear score of 283 and all of that crit hit chance, plus the extra crit hit chance with vicious, this could work out very well for some people. So if you are looking for something like this, head on over to East 53rd Street and check it out. Now it's time to wrap things up in the 284 plus gear score section. This week over at Camp Clinton with a gear score of 285, we have a Centurion for sale. Now this Centurion is coming in with the same talent as one of the other weapons that I recommended in the, I think it's a 282, the first wave X45, but this one is the Centurion and it comes with the same talent. So basically same advice that I would give you for the X45. If you don't like Dominant, roll it off. Personally, I don't like Dominant. Dominant, so I would say roll it off and put something a little more to your liking. Because this is the pair with the Liberator, this could work out really well as something to complement that weapon if it is something you're looking for. Now, the major difference between this weapon and the X45 is that the rate of fire is slower and the magazine is smaller. So the rate of fire is much slower. It's about half, and so is the magazine, but the damage should be a little bit better. So if you want to have something like Predatory to give you health, or if you want to have something like you know, something with some bleed or some fire, then you could go with that route. If you really wanted to, it's not bad at all. Now, one other thing that I wanted to kind of put in here, although this does not qualify for the 284 plus section, is this week's Liberator is a really sad 265 gear score, but the talents work well. The reason I'm mentioning this is because the Liberator and the well, what the name is this weapon? I done had a brain fart. The Centurion, they both work really well together, but the gear score of this is really bad, but the talents on it are very nice. So we have Responsive, Prepared, and Fierce in the third. My recommendations, because this weapon is in the heads up section, please remember to go and check down in the heads up section for some of the stuff that maybe didn't quite make it into the video, but is available this week. Some of it is kind of garbagey, but some of this stuff, if you really sift through the trash, you can find some gems like this one. Now, the good thing about this is having Responsive and Fierce, you can roll off Predatory and put Deadly on this, and it would work out really well for a crit build. So if you're gonna have something like this with Fierce, Deadly, and then Responsive, and then maybe have some kind of attachment that gives you extra crit chance, and then some others with crit damage, this could be a very good weapon once you level it up. So remember to go ahead and check this out. Look down in the description for the heads up section. See if you pair this up with the Centurion that's being sold this week. Roll a few things off, fix it up, and let me know in the comment section below. Alright guys, that is it for this week's Good or Garbage, the best place to find out what's going on with the division in terms of these resets. We are up to week 117. Yes, 100. Thank you guys for all of the support. That's all I can say, man. You guys have been holding it down with this channel for the longest time. The next goal milestone for the channel, hopefully we can get up to 10K. I need you guys' help with that. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, comment, all that other stuff. Tell your friends. If you got some friends that are into gaming, maybe they're interested in some of the stuff that's coming up with games for next year, send them this way. Let them know about the channel, and I hope you guys picked up that stamina mod. It's a beast. Got row. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good weekend.